Trots, hosted by Mortz and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Mortz and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, he certainly was the Western Australian champion, and we got his trainer on this evening, Gary Hall Snr. We'll introduce him in just a moment, but we're well and truly into Group 1, and it was that team again, senior and junior, with D-Mac taking out to the Golden Slipper. Gary Hall Sr.'s fourth Golden Slipper, back-to-back years after Cyclone Geordie won last year. And then we head into the Oaks this week. So we're well and truly into Group 1 proceedings. Ollie, as I welcome you into the show, Mortz is having a well-earned break, so you're joining us on the panel.
Really exciting time of the year. Great to be here, and looks like a really fantastic card we've got coming up tomorrow night, which it was a fantastic card last week as well. So we're getting to see some really nice horses go around, and one of those really nice horses is D-Mac, who was a really impressive winner last week in the Slipper.
Yeah, he was very good. Once he found the front, he was too strong, and another, as I said, Golden Slipper to the Hall camp. But some good racing as we said all around, and some good results. And we'll go we'll listen to a few of them as we go through the program. But let's get straight into it. We haven't got the review from Mortz this week, so we'll get straight into it, Ollie. Unless you want to go through all the doubles, you didn't go through them.
No, there's too many of them.
There's too many of them. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. Let's go back a week. And D-Mac, he was well supported. They put up 235. That didn't last long. They knocked him off the stand. He ended up starting $1.22. Well deserved. Here's D-Mac taking out the Channel 7 Golden Slipper.
Clear, race clear in the slipper from Better Move Matty, Wake Up Jeff the inside, but D-Mac has careered right away. Better Move Matty fights on strongly with Wake Up Jeff, but D-Mac wins the slipper and wins it well. D-Mac by 6 metres to Wake Up Jeff second.
Yeah, good performance from D-Mac. Wake Up Jeff got his coattails. Better Move Matty was good in third position, and then El Maestro, good return to form as well, and I'm Stealthy did a really good job sitting 3 wide for the last 1,000 metres or so, and we welcome in the winning trainer to the program, who also trained I'm Stealthy, Gary Hall Snr. Senior, welcome to the program.
Yeah, good evening, Michael and Ollie. How you going, guys?
Yeah, really good, and I'll tell you what, these both the 2-year-olds went really well. D-Mac won the race, but you must have been pleased with I'm Stealthy as well.
Yes, I was. I wasn't surprised, but after how he went at Pinjarra on the Monday, but he's nearly 17 hands, that horse, and I don't understand how he can go like he can as a 2-year-old. So I've got big hopes for him as a 3. I think he'll just keep on maturing, and D-Mac's a big horse as well, and they're both very good 2-year-olds. So hopefully they'll be even better 3-year-olds for me.
Well, they look like they're going to get better as 3-year-olds, as you say, because they're big horses, and once they grow into their body, they're definitely going to, or they should improve, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I was a bit worried because I bought them both for a reasonable amount of money, and Stealthy was a lot cheaper than D-Mac, and Sid Brown said to me, the owner of Diego, said, "Oh yeah, I've gone to Down by the Seaside, but you have to go to Little Mares because the big Down by the Seasides are no good." And I just thought, I've just bought 2, thanks very much. But he was wrong, thank God.
Well, they're a fickle bunch over in New Zealand, and I suppose everywhere. But the Down by the Seasides 2 years ago were just unwanted. I think when I was at the New Zealand sales, I'd bring in and they weren't even getting bids. But now he seems to be the boom siren in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's right. And it was the same with Sweet Lou. They didn't want Sweet Lou at all at one stage there. And now, it's like everybody, I suppose, they have to prove themselves these sides and that. And, Sweet Lou's done the job, although I'm not a huge fan of them. But Down by the Seasides I like a lot better, I think.
What are the next steps for your 2-year-olds, I'm Stealthy and D-Mac? Do they head for a spell now?
Yeah, they're both going for a spell. D-Mac for winning the Golden Slippers getting gelded next Tuesday. So that's
a good reward.
he's getting.
Poor guy.
Yeah, but normally you do try and find races for him, but obviously you put them away and try and bring them back. I think the Caduceus Club Classics early next year is probably going to be an aim for him.
Yeah, any 3-year-old races, like the bigger stake money 3-year-old races, because you have to target those now because they get on their mark too quick with the national rating system. So I need to win the bigger races with them. So that's what I target with them, and that's why I buy horses that are capable of winning that sort of race. But yeah, I don't like racing 2-year-olds anyway, Michael. You probably know that. I don't really concentrate on 2-year-old racing and over the years, and I'm surprised I've won 4 Golden Slippers, actually. I even drove one once, so that's how good that horse was.
89, I think it was. 89, and then more recently Bodine Boaz and obviously Cyclone Geordie last year. So they've been fairly well spaced though, Senior.
Yeah. I just don't race that many 2-year-olds, and like these have had 3 starts each, and I'm happy about that. Cyclone Geordie had, I think he had 14 2-year-old starts, and he's paid the penalty. He's strained the tendon, but I don't think it's serious. I think he'll be back as a 4-year-old, but he won't be here for the Derby, unfortunately.
Yes, he's out for an extended period, Senior, and obviously got to miss the next races in the next 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, he is, unfortunately. He's a great horse, Warren Wishaw told me he could win. He's good enough to win the Pacing Cup this year, and I said, "Well, you're not right about that. He couldn't beat Mr. Smarty as long as he's got as long as he's looking through a bridle." But he's only a 3-year-old, and I think that's where these guys get it wrong. I think.
Although we consider, I know it's off the table now. Would you consider taking him over to Queensland for the Rising Sun and Mr. Smarty as well for those races, or was that off the table anyway?
No, it's off the table. I'm getting too old to travel, Michael. It's more me than the horses. I would have liked to go on to Sydney for the Miracle Mile with Smarty and maybe the Chariots of Fire with Geordie, but I don't think that's going to happen now because Geordie probably won't be ready for that.
No. Well, let's get into your runners on Friday night, and we'll kick off with the Oaks, hey? You've got a very nice filly in Faking It. She's only had the 7 starts, but every time you've stepped her up, she's just improved.
Yeah, I had a bit of trouble with her. I spelled her and I brought her back this time, and she got a bit colicky, or it wasn't really colicky. We didn't know what was wrong. She was off her feed and she was lethargic, and she didn't really... I couldn't really do much with her, and I was just trying to get her right, and we kept having the vet come to her and everything, and welled and drenched and all that sort of thing. And she took about 3 weeks to get over it, whatever it was. So it put me back a little bit. So she went into the first race this time back. I don't know what it was. I think she went into the size final anyway, and she was definitely well underdone. And she went enormous. Yeah, actually should have won, I think. She got checked on the home turn and got off balance and everything, and ran a really good second to It's My Time, I think. And from there on, she's just kept on improving. She's doesn't give you a hell of a lot of a feel at home. She's pretty laid back at home, and her mother was exactly the same, Fake News. But since she's when she gets to the races, she definitely puts her best foot forward.
She seems to go well for Madison Brown, who's got the drive there tomorrow night. It's a bit of an awkward draw out wide. Do you think she just has to be taken back in the early stages and save for one run the way she's won her last few races?
Hasn't been one of my races, the Oaks. I just never have any luck in it. Fake News should have won the Oaks and didn't. She was very unlucky if you have a look at her running the Oaks, but her mother. And, the draw is a bit of a worry, definitely a worry. And as far as Madison Brown driving, she can drive any of my horses. I'd put her on Mr. Smarty if Junior wasn't driving. She's just a great driver. Horses go for her, and she's a lot better than she gives herself credit for.
The 2,500, do you think it'll suit her?
It'll be better for her, yeah. Actually, all my horses go better over the 2,500. That's why I'm a bit worried tomorrow night. Mr. Smarty over the 1,700. I don't train horses to run 1,700 really. So,
well, let's talk about Mr. Smarty. And as you said, he's over the 1,700 metres. He's outside. Do you give Junior instructions on how to drive, or just leave it up to him?
Yeah, no, that's pointless giving him an instruction. He just, if I want him to do something different to what I want, I tell him what I don't want him to do, and I tell him that's what I want him to do, and he does something different normally.
What would you like him to do on Friday night? Handlebars down?
Handlebars down, just go forward, and that's what I reckon, and just run. That's what I reckon. That should make him very hard to beat. He's sort of funny sort of a horse. He turns off a bit if you go back with him. You put him to sleep like he did when Magnificent Storm led a couple of weeks ago, and he went back and then just crept into the breeze and 1,200 out and that, and he just didn't go to the line. And admittedly, he wasn't 100% fit or anything like that, but he just, once you sort of let him know that it's go back and don't do anything, he sort of takes it on board, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Do you think Hotly Pursued is the one to beat in that race apart from Mr. Smarty?
I think Longreach Bay might even be.
Yeah, he probably looks a leader from gate one.
Probably going to lead, and it grows a leg when it leads. I'm not sure, but those Mr. Smarty hasn't really had any trouble with those type of horses, and the one that has got a lot of class is Captain Ravishing. So I'm not too sure about who the danger is. There could be a bit of pace early there, but I think.
Yeah, looks like it on paper, and obviously he's definitely got the class in this race. Mr. Smarty won earlier in the night, race 2, that has shown just so much ability, Alta Tribute, but has done a few things wrong at times. How do you think he'll go tomorrow night?
He's a good horse. He missed out on the 4-year-old championship race on Monday, and I can't understand why. Because he's ranked 10th in the rankings for the Nugget. He's one of my better Nugget chances. I think he's a real good horse, but he's been crucified by the fact that he won 2 or 3 3-year-old races and came back a 3 or 4 win Metropolitan horse. And he's been drawn bad all the time, and that he hasn't done a lot. He doesn't do much wrong. He doesn't do anything wrong. He just put in a roll. He's got a 63-inch hopper or something. Gary never put the shorteners on him, and he galloped, and that sort of was the only thing he's done wrong. He's quite a reasonably good tractable horse, and he's quite strong. If he can get a decent run tomorrow, I think he should win.
I think the horse that did go around instead of him in the 4-year-old championship started about 400 to 1. I'd suggest he probably would have started a little bit shorter than that, Alta Tribute, but pretty stiff to miss a spot in that race.
Yeah, well, that's life.
Oh, yeah, you might win Friday night. Might work out even better for you. We go to down to race number 8, and you've got Raka Lou, who was he first up last week and didn't get a great deal of peace, but he's drawn the back. Is he drawn the back line? He's drawn 12 in race number 8. He's a solid favourite at $1.36 on Tab Touch. Will the performance reflect the price?
Oh, it is a mare anyway, Michael.
Oh, man, sorry.
But
I've done that a couple of times.
She's a high class mare, but she hits the knee really badly, and it was not one of my better buys. I didn't realise that she hit the knee as bad as she did, and I've had a bit of trouble getting her off it. And it's not Gloucester Park, if anyone, it's just the fact that she hits it bad. She'd hit it on Auckland or Addington or anywhere. She's really bad. Brings an offside knee in, and I've got spreaders on her, and that. And she went really good. She went 155 last start. Copped an enormous amount of undue pressure, and only just got beat. I thought it was a terrific run to run those sort of times after 11 months off. So. She was
huge there last start, and I think the horse that took a run through the middle was pretty well beaten and didn't run a place in the end. So massive effort last start, and you'd think she'd be better for the run. Does she go around this field and look to sit outside them and win that way?
Yeah, she can do that. She's done that in New Zealand. She's versatile, but She's better off driven that way than trying to come off the track 4 or 5 wide at, in the last 400 metres. So at some stage, I'm assuming that Gary will put her into the race.
And you finish off with the 3-year-old Chase Me, who now is he the hope of the side for the bigger 3-year-old derbies, Chase Me Senior?
Yeah, I think he's the only hope, Michael.
Yeah, there you go. Tell you what, he was all right first up. I listened to you on the preview when he was in at Bunbury, and you thought he needed the run, but he found the line really strongly.
Yeah, Stewie reckons he's come back a little bit better. This prep, well, I gave him a bit of a let-up, didn't give him time off much, but I just gave him a bit of an ease up and that, and Stewie reckons he's come back a lot better. He's a lot more tractable, he's working pretty good. And he can't win tomorrow night because not unless Bondi lets me go to the front. I don't think that's going to happen somehow, but, you never know.
No, it looks like it could be Indian File a go in that race, but you're going to be the first one there anyway, Senior.
Yeah, he I don't think he can beat Better Fortune. Not drawn out. Drawn inside him, you probably could, but not drawn outside him. And he's a very good horse, Better Fortune. I was telling, I was saying to Rob Gartrell last week, there's the Derby winner, Better Fortune, when it won, and he looked at me a bit strange because he didn't realise that what I did. Cyclone Geordie wasn't going around the Derby, so I still think he's the deserved favourite for the Derby at this stage. Anyway, unless something comes out of the woodwork.
Well, Senior, you look like you've got a nice team heading to Gloucester Park tomorrow night, and there's another chance. You get a chance to win an Oaks tomorrow night with Faking It, and tell you what, she's right in it. Good luck, and we'll see you at the track.
No worries, Mark. Just Ollie asked me a question about whether Faking It go forward or back. Well, I think she can go forward and still win. I said before the barrier draw that it didn't matter where she draws. She's one of the horses in the race that can still win from a bad draw. And, Raynette might come out and cross. I think she could come across with her and probably get a forward position. But I'll leave that up to Madison. She'll do the right thing. She always drives all my horses well, and she drives them to the pace of the race, so I'm sure she'll go well.
Well, at least she's got some options. Whether she knows she's got a bit of a motor underneath her as well, so it helps. Yeah. It helps when you're making decisions to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Senior, thank you, and good luck. Congratulations again on another Golden Slipper, and good luck in the Oaks.
Thanks very much, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Senior.
Senior, Gary Hall Snr. Bye. There's Gary Hall Snr, who has another a great team going as usual, and it's very rarely that he's not got a big chance in a Group 1. He was brought to you by Snooze at Cannington and Coburn. If you've got any betting requirements, go and see our man Lane Tomich out there at either Cannington or Coburn. Tell him Mort sent you, and he'll look after you better than you'll know. Go to snooze.com.au or just call into the Coburn or Cannington stores. All your betting requirements, if you need a new mattress, a new frame, or any of the accessories, a side door or a lamp, they'll look after you. Go and see our mates Lane and his team at Snooze, Cannington and Coburn. Disappointing that Cyclone Geordie's going to be out though.
Yeah, certainly is. He would have gone around a very short price favourite in the Derby, and you'd suggest he would have been very close to winning that race, given how he's gone recently. He was so impressive there at Bunbury when he did so much work through the middle of the race and was still able to win. And to see him go out with injury for a period is really disappointing for harness racing generally.
Yeah, because he looked like he was the superstar coming through, which is it's unfortunate, I think, for everyone that he won't be there. But interesting, the tactics tomorrow night in the Apes are going to be really interesting. Copperhead Lady's drawn to possibly find the front. Raynette's got speed, but Bet on the Life's got to go forward. And you'd think the one that she would want to sit on is Faking It, and it could be a really good battle of tactics. But saying that, the Oaks is the race that if there's going to be a blowout, it's the Oaks.
It certainly always seems to be that way, doesn't it? And the 2,500 metre start point probably brings a few of the wider runners into it early, giving them a chance to cross. If it was 2100, then maybe the runners drawn low would be able to dig through and lead them up. But 2500 usually brings those horses drawn the outside into it, and Raynette is a horse with plenty of gate speed. So as Senior suggested, there's some chance that horse might be able to zip across, and if it did, then certainly it would open the race right up.
And there's not as many 2,500 metre races for fillies, so a lot of them are either getting there the first time or it's a real adjustment for them. And if they do a bit of work, and that's why the pegs play such a big part in these races as well. We see a lot of these races decided by horses that are either on the pegs or just got that great cover into the race.
Yeah, certainly those horses that are 3 or 4 back the pegs in a 2,500 metre race that's run genuinely, they're going to be huge chances. It just, I think, depends who gets to the front. If it's one of the more favoured runners like Better Than Life or a Faking It, then they might get left alone a little bit out in front and they might get that respect. But if there's a runner at longer odds that's able to hold a position early, then it might be on early. There might be plenty of speed.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a great race. The Tab Touch WA Oaks, $150,000 on offer for the 3-year-old fillies. And as I said, if there's going to be an upset in a big race, it's generally the WA Oaks, and it could be that way again on Friday night. There might be a bit of value in finding one that's just going to get that right cover and be able to finish off into the race, particularly for place punters.
Certainly, definitely.
Which we love, Ollie. We love a little 1x3.
I do love a 1x3 or a 1x4. And, yeah, those favoured runners like Copperhead Lady, Better Than Life and Faking It, they've been so good recently, but you just never know what will happen in a race like this.
Yeah, it sure is. It's really interesting. And Jack Callaghan gets the drive for Ryan Bell and Copperhead Lady. He's got a few drives. Picks up one for the Bonds as well, and obviously drove for Ryan in the 4-year-old Classic, which we'll play later on in the race, where Just Call Me Mickey returned to form and never looked like getting beat.
It really was a race that pretty quickly they found their order, and then they went really slowly for that grade of horse, and it was just a dash to the line. I think they went 27 into a 26, and after that, you'd think a horse of the quality of Just Call Me Mickey would be able to win, and he was, and the horse on his back, Wave Rider, was good enough to run second there. So I think a long way out, it did look that way, and that's how it played out. And Franco Motu was a really good third in that race. He did the work, and he was coming off a long spell, and he's been really good his first 2 starts back.
Yeah, no, really good. And actually, it's interesting, listen to the pre-race interviews, and there was some discussion around whether Just Call Me Mickey could get crossed, and Matt asked Denny, and Denny said, well, I think he's got enough speed. He's a big horse that you don't realise how fast he's going. Yeah. And he just covers the ground so well but he held up easy, and the rest, it was all over then because Denny could just rate him and let him go.
I think if you took the $2.70 or whatever it opened at, I think you're on pretty good terms, about $250 after the start. And he is a really high quality horse. Just Call Me Mickey. He probably wasn't at his absolute best first up, but we know last time in he went around in that in the Nullarbor. So a horse that's able to go around the Nullarbor at his age, has to be respected in a 4-year-old race, and he's going to be really hard to beat later in the year in the Nugget. No,
he sure will, and he's certainly probably the top rated 4-year-old at the moment. And the ratings came out for the Nugget as well in this week, and interesting that Alta Tribute didn't get a start, but he's ranked 10.
Yeah, it was interesting, and he hadn't raced between the 4-year-old race and when the rankings came out. So it was interesting, and I think a horse that went around in that race in his place wasn't ranked in the top 20. So it was interesting how all that played out, and I think it's really starting to take shape, that 4-year-old feature, and over the next few weeks we're going to see a few more of those go around, and I'm sure there's going to be a bit of movement in those rankings.
Well, I'll give you the rankings. How's this? Just Call Me Mickey is ranked number 1, Menemshah 2, Wave Rider 3, Copycat Queen 4, Waterloo 5, Golden Lode 6, Franco Motu 7, Better's Pride 8, Cabernet 9, Alta Tribute 10, Lion Queen 11, Mickey's Pride 12, Safer 13, Blaze away 14, Pete's on a 15, Sweet Pin's 16, Tooraloo 17, I'm Lightning Batter 18, Dawson 19, Dark Eyes 20. Pretty much right at the moment, aren't they, Ollie?
I think Waterloo probably, it's
high.
been a while since she's shown her best.
Probably on the back of previous performances.
Yeah, and she was probably a really, really good juvenile horse, and maybe she hasn't quite she's had some issues behind the scenes or something like that, but she hasn't been able to show her best in quite a while. So I think her ranking, she might drop down over the next few weeks. And I think a horse that was really good in the 4-year-old championship that's a bit lower down the ranking, Safer. I thought he was a great run. He went forward early, was caught wide, and then he was shuffled out the back, and I thought he still hit the line okay. So he might be one that shuffles up the rankings a little bit.
Interesting, 3 fillies, or 3 mares in the top 12. Copycat Queen, Waterloo, and Lion Queen.
Copycat Queen, she was super again in that race on Monday. She hit the line really well, and
She's
it was
very good, didn't she?
It was a dash home, so really she wasn't entitled to get as close as she did, and she's just flying at the moment, and she looks like a mare that's really going to make that step up to mares free-for-all grade.
And there's plenty of races for those mares, because there's also those mares races as well. Even though you got to take on Artie by the Seaside, but you got the 4-year-olds, all the mares races. There's plenty of riches on offer for that for Copycat Queen in particular, I think.
Yeah, definitely. She's a horse that could match it with anyone at the moment. The way she's going, she's just in such good form. And I think Aidan de Campo, he noted that previously she had a few problems settling, but now he's got her settling so well. She's probably a horse that is a little bit more versatile than she has been previously.
Yeah, indeed. All right, this segment's been brought to you by Loans 123 Car Loans, Debt Consolidations, all your personal finance. The man to see is the new nut Stevie Sell at loans123.com.au or 1800 100 100. Very easy to remember number. And if you need a credit report, anything else, go and see Steve. He'll look after you and make sure that if you need anything as far as financial, he'll look after you, and he's a good man. Stevie Sell supports us here at Tab Radio and on Talking Trots. Now, Junior jumped off, made the right decision this year, jumped off, drove D-Mac and got the cash, but the Prentice Hall reunited in the last race with the Iron Duke, and he was first up in WA, Ollie, but started a short price favourite, and probably hasn't been known for his toughness, but was pretty good on Friday night.
I think he was a fairly big class drop there on Friday. The horses that he had been racing in Victoria were probably a little bit better than those ones he came up against on Friday, and he's like a really big horse. So I think it was vital that Junior got him into a position where he wasn't coming wide on that last bend, and he just proved too good for them in the end. He did the work and was just too strong. It was a nice win, and it looks like a horse that's probably going to keep progressing through the grades.
Yep, let's listen to the Iron Duke, another one by Always Be Mickey, getting the cash in the final event of the night last week.
And then Ripperview getting out, followed by El Waddell, but it's the Iron Duke drawing clear from Malachi, Ripperview, El Waddell, and the Iron Duke races home to win. From Malachi, third in, Ripperview, fourth between El Waddell and very wide out, getting wiggy with it, who flew.
There's always a lot more in store for you at Retrovision, like Retrovision's lowest price guarantee. If you find a lower price on a same-stocked item, we'll beat it. There's our 60-day price promise, where we'll refund you 120% of the difference if you find a lower advertised price on any purchase. Plus, RAC members save an extra 5% every day of the year. After 60 years, a lot has changed, but there's still a lot more in store at Retrovision.
Ending back to the inside around the turn though. Magnificent Storm has broken away again now from He's a Sport Swing Band and then Bricky's Dream. But Magnificent Storm, he's got the past President's Cup and he's the equine president. Magnificent Storm races away from He's a Sport to win brilliantly. Third, Swing Band, a nose to Bricky's Dream. Then
came Never Ending, who was into fifth position, but it was all Magnificent Storm, 154.5. Quick lead time. But he got a breather and then zipped home the last quarter, 26.9. They were never going to get near him. He's a Sport ran second, Swing Band third, Bricky's Dream, and Never Ending. Really good first up performance after almost a year away. Made a lot of ground up. He would have went a sub 27 as well. Home Never Ending. In the past President's Cup,
He did look like he was travelling nicely in behind them without anywhere to go.
Yeah, got held up as well going the line. So, I think talking to Justin after the race, he was more than happy with his return to the track and the way that Jack drove as well, looked after him and made sure that he's ready to go for this campaign, because it's going to be a big one.
It did really look the ideal first up run there, given what was noted pre-race that he maybe needed that run. He got inside runs and was, hitting the line really well. So I'm sure he took a lot of confidence out of that, the horse, and he'll be ready to go whenever he races next.
Yeah, it's going to be all these good free-for-allers are coming back. And as we spoke to Senior, we got Mr. Smarty this Friday night as well. Now, this segment's brought to you by Steel Blue Boots. Built for comfort, made for work, well over 700 stockists nationwide. Steel Blue Boots, a mark of true skill for the entire range of premium work boots. Go to steelblue.com, and they're designed for comfort, durability and choice. And as Mort says, they've got a 30-day, 100% comfort guarantee, but you never, ever need it. All right. Mort's is away this week, but he's tagged out, and in comes Bomber Hill, fresh from a fishing expedition. Did you catch any, Bomber?
These blokes that think fishing's hard need to start trying to find some winners on a Friday night, I reckon, Brad.
No problems? Just throwing them in the boat?
No issue. Just throw the line out and in they go. Like it's just a piece of cake, really. But, no, really good week and caught plenty of fish and good company and, back to reality now. So.
Well, it sure is, and we've got another Group 1 night here at Gloucester Park tomorrow night, and it is the Tab Touch WA Oaks, and it is race 5, and it is set to go at 7:20 WA time. The first of 10 races kicks off at 5:18 WA time, and it is a 0 win for 18k stakes over the 2100 metres. And let's have a look at the Tab Touch market, and this is the download the Tab Touch app. And if we have a look at the market, we've got Pocket the Change drawing the pole at $15, Burley Shard at 31, Our Major Jack 201, Franco Mecca 34, Sid Strepo at 21, Sweet Cocoa open 245, 136 for Sweet Cocoa. The Wand Waver at 23, Overly Excited 650 out from 340. Major J at $23. Beat the Bank inside the back line, $26. A little bit of support into 20. Off the charts at 16. Fight to the finish at 15 and pretty solid. Bomber, in the first race, what do you got for us?
You're going to start with a place bet, Rads. I thought Beat the Bank, he draws to be leaders back initially and then most likely 3 pegs. But he's racing in really good fashion, this little bloke, and chased home some nice horses. He rarely misses the first 4 when comes up with a draw like this, and he'll be a little reliant on luck over the last 600. But I think if the favourite gets to the breeze or to the front, there's going to be enough speed on over that period for the gaps to open up. So I think he's a great place chance at a price.
Certainly hasn't had a lot of luck, has he, in recent starts? Beat the Bank, Bomber. How many units are we having on him?
Yeah, 2-unit place bet. I think as long as he sort of lands in that 3 back position, then there will be enough pressure late for the gaps to open up.
Currently 320 for a place on Tab Touch. So 2 units at the 320. Good way to start off the pegs at Gloucester Park, race number 1, a place with Beat the Bank. All right, we go to race number 2. This is You've Got the Touch with Tab Touch over the 2130 metres. And as we have a look at the market for the second, we've got Under the Altar, $61. El Waddell at 21. Maximum Rock at $9 in from 13. Hale St. Louis pretty solid at $5. Follow Rock and Roll 23. Quinton at 17. Louis LeBeau, a winner from last week, at $20. Alta Tribute opened up $1.95. Touch $2.15 back into $1.95 for Alta Tribute. Tiger Real at $20. Cold Hard Cash at $11. Chili Punter at 15, and Max Better is $11. What do you got for us here, Bomber?
Yeah, I think Out attributes the class and finds the right race here despite the draw. Comes here 4th up and off the back of a really good trial at Pinjarra. And I'd suggest this is a touch easier than his last few. So, Ross, it's going to be tricky from the draw. We can leave that up to Junior and the class of the horse. I think he's just clearly the best horse in the race, and any form of luck, he'll be winning. This
does look a big drop back in class on some of the races he's been contesting recently. How many units are we having on him, Bomber?
Yeah, I thought he was probably the best of the night. So 3 unit bet on it.
3 unit bet for Alta Tribute at $1.95. Alta Tribute. All right, 3 unit bet, $1.95 Alta Tribute. All right, time to break a break. We saw Louis Lebeau at $20 in that market. As Richie said after the line, the Frenchman, were you a Hogan's Heroes watcher?
No, well, definitely before my era.
What about you, Bomber? You would have watched Hogan's Heroes for sure.
I wasn't an avid watcher, but I do remember, but I wouldn't be many scenes that I could come up with.
The little French fella, Louis Lebeau. As we take a break, here is Louis Lebeau winning the first race last week.
Outside, Mandy Lou's battling on. Star Lily in front. Here's Louis down the outside. Star Louis Lebeau all over the top on the outside, and Louis Lebeau gets up at a big price to beat home Star Lily, Mandy Lou, and also Sweet.
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater. DL 25174.
Kinky, Akoya Pearl. Here's our Rich Cargo down the outside, finishing well, but it's still Kinky in front. Kinky the leader, Akoya Pearl. Our Rich Cargo's coming late. Akoya Pearl gets to Kinky. Akoya Pearl put the head in front and beat Kinky, our Rich Cargo.
There we go, Akoya Pearl. Ollie got over the top of Kinky, which was not really expected. $20 in the end of Akoya Pearl.
No, it was a super run from Akoya Pearl there. I had something on Kinky. I thought once she led, that was half the equation done. I think she's previously done a few things wrong early, and she was able to lead and get away with things out in front. And Akoya Pearl, she's gone really well to beat Kinky, who seemingly had every chance there on the inside. And Akoya Pearl, she's certainly going to come into the features as some chance. She hasn't drawn too well tomorrow night, but she certainly looks a horse that's getting better and better each start.
Now, drawn 9 tomorrow night. It's got good form, 3-1-1-1, $41 on the Tab Touch market. The other runners in that race, Kinky is drawn 12, $61, and Our Rich Cargo third is $91 after drawing barrier 6. The favourite is Better Than Life from barrier 5 for Gary Hall Jr., trained and driven. Cophead Lady is drawn 2 at $3.40, and Fanked It is at $4.40. And has there been any flux? A little bit of money for the favourite. Apart from that, pretty solid for the rest of them. All right, this segment is brought to you by Retrovision. While Mort's away, the team is still going strong. And go in and tell them Mort sent you. Your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive an additional 5% every day. All your white goods, all your accessories, anything you need, they'll go in and look after you. I can tell you the pizza ovens are great. Ollie,
you've got one of those.
You've got one of those. It gets a run.
Yeah. Do you put pineapple on your pizza, or you know pineapple?
Nicole does. I don't.
Oh, I don't like pineapple. I don't think it deserves a spot on a pizza.
It's a very divisive subject.
Yeah, it certainly is.
But there we go. Make sure you go and see Retrovision, or go online, retrovision.com.au. And as I said, RAC members receive an additional 5% every day. All right, we're going to continue on the preview here in the deep dive, and we're up to race number 3. And this is Tab Touch, same place, same race multi. You'd be a same race multi guy, wouldn't you, Ollie?
Oh, yeah. You can't go too wrong with a same race multi, can you? Try and find something to win and something to place.
Very popular. Same game multis now is one of the bigger betting options for all the wagering companies.
People love them. They love them on sport, and it probably hasn't taken off like it has in sport with racing, but it's a really good way to get involved for people that just want a smaller interest to win a big amount.
Yep. All right, this is the Tab Touch Place, the same race multi, and do it on your app as well, over the 2130 metres. Let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. Sugar Delight, open 225, out to 310 after drawing the poll. Joey James, $71. Little Happy Fella, 31. Sweet Lucifer at 17. Middle Page, 15. Cordero, 21. Dark Eyes at $13. Mr. Macedon at 17. Illawong Mustang at 51. Inside the back line, we have Travel Ban at $9, fairly solid. Troy Rogal Brigade, a winner not long ago, $10 in from 14. And the one they've come for, Blaze Away, trained by Michael Young, a Trots syndication horse, $350 Blaze Away after running 6th, I think, on Monday. It was a good performance, though, in the 4-year-old classic, dropping back in class. They've come for him, $350 to $240 about Blaze Away. Bomber, which way are you going for in race number 3?
Yeah, Travel Ban's another place bet, Rads. I think he draws to trail the leader and the one to beat. He's an okay beginner without being brilliant, but I don't think the pole marker will have to be burnt too hard early, and that aids his chances of holding up. So I think from behind the leader, he's a certain place prospect and certainly not hopeless from 3 pegs. So he's a model of consistency that rarely runs a bad race, and it just requires a touch of luck late to fill a hole, I think.
Sugar Delight probably hasn't been at her absolute best the last few, but you'd think she'd go a lot better there, drawing 1, and that'll give the great run to your horse, Travel Ban. How many units are we having on him?
Yeah, and I think the other advantage is Blaze Away probably gets around to the breeze at some point as well, so looks to be plenty of pressure on. So, yeah, 2-unit place, Ollie. I'm really confident this bloke.
215 on Tab Touch the Place. 215 at Tab Touch the Place for race 3. Number 10, Travel Ban. All right, and then we head to the last race. We've had the first 3 races. To finish off, we got to go to the last race, which is the Tab Touch Pace over the 2130 metres, and we've got Pet Shop Adder at $26, as I see if there's any flux. In Full Flight at $7. Chef's Kiss, a little bit of support here. Open $9.50, touch 13, now back into $7.50. Spot on Molly at $126. Miss Bejeweled in from $13 to $6.50. Mars Attack $20. Sky High Adder $2.20 into $1.85. So they've come for a few here. And Slay Queen open $3.10 out to $4.20. What do you got for us with the 2-year-olds in the last, Bomber?
You really like Sky High Adder. Had her first couple. They've been education type runs, really behind the really serious filly in Wishing Bell, but she's been cuddled up from both of those and just come with 1 run, and she's put the rest of the field away really quickly, and that sort of resonated with me, combined with the fact that she's ran through the line, although beaten big margins. The sectionals have been really good, and I think she lands close enough here to finally get a win on, well, not finally, but get a win on the board at a third chance.
She has been really good last few runs, and Jocelyn Young does a good job with her team, and they seem to get better run by run. How many units are we having on this horse, Bomber?
Yeah, she's a 3-unit bet. I think the price is about right. She probably, fluctuate between there and even money, but only has to run up to those first 2 for sure.
All right, that's finished off the card. So we've got the first 3 races we've previewed and also the last race. First week back after a little break. Have you got a multi for us, Bomber?
Yeah, I have got a multi. Pretty confident this one. It's a 4-legger, but race 4, number 1, Otis. I think he gets his chance to lead and win. He hasn't had much luck with the draws. Into race 7, number 8, Mr. Smarty. Expect class to just prevail here despite the draw. And race 8, number 12, Rackloo. You'll find this easier and hard to see him not winning. And then race 9, number 2, Better Fortune, also expect to lead and win. So I think those 4 can all get the job done.
All right, we're at race 4, number 1 at $155. Race 7, number 8 at $145. Race 8, number 12 at $136. And race 9, number 2 at $130. That all up is $3.97, so almost $4, 3 to 1, or $4 for the 4-leg multi. Your game, Bomber, 4 legs.
It's always going to be one.
It's always tough. Tell you what, though, I just had a look at the fluctuations for Otis. Drawn 1, race 4, number 1, Dylan Edgerton Green, $6.50 they put up, $1.55 currently.
Yeah, $6.50 looked overs, didn't it?
I'm not sure how many got that.
No, would have been nice for the all-up, Bomber. It's more than it currently is. Anyway, $6.50. It's a good fluck. $6.52, $1.55. It's much better than the $2.35 to $1.36 or $1.22 we saw about DMAC last week. But tell you what, $1.55 now Otis after putting up at $6.50. All right, Bomber, welcome back. Good to have you back. Hopefully we can have a winning return after your little sojourn, and let's hope that finding winners is just as easy as catching fish.
Oh, let's hope so. It's it's
like shooting fish in the barrel, Bomber.
I've got a bit to live up to, that's for sure.
All right, good on you, mate. See you next week.
Thanks, Bomber.
Thanks, Scott. Have a good night.
Scott Bomber Hill with some tips and 4-leg multi. Tell you what, the more you put in, it's
there's always one leg. I think I had one. I mentioned it on the show the other day that I was about a 5-leg multi, and I went short legs for most of them, but the last leg was something to place at about $1.20, and it's been taken on 35 lead time or something out there at Bunbury, and he's just got tired late, run fourth. Unbelievable.
They always get you.
I know.
They always get you, indeed. All right. Time to take a break. And Senior mentioned he's going to probably be the Derby favourite now with Cyclone Geordie out. He's $1.30 tomorrow night. He looks a class 3-year-old, doesn't he, Better Fortune?
Yeah, he was so impressive there, sitting outside the leader and proving too good. He's certainly taking on better horses in this race now, but nothing to suggest that he won't be able to step up again and beat these from a really good draw.
Yeah, and I was just going to see if I can find a WA Derby. Now, a Better Fortune with Cyclone Geordie out of the market is $1.50 for the Derby.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
$1.30 tomorrow night, drawn 1. That seems value at $1.50 in the Derby, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. I think it's just one of those races where if there are a couple of the better horses drawn low in the race, then they might want to make a race of it, and it could be a bit of a blowout if Better Fortune's forced too much work. But if he draws well in that Derby like he has tomorrow night, then he's certainly going to be really hard to beat.
All right, the Tab Touch market for the Derby has Better Fortune $1.50, Chase Me $4.20, Lincoln Lou at $9. Is that his price?
Oh, I think it's probably a pretty good price. He was fairly good behind Cyclone Geordie the other day, who was the short price favourite. I think at some bookmakers he was about $1.30, Cyclone Geordie. So Lincoln Lou was able to run a good second to him. So you'd suggest that $9.50 is probably an okay price.
It's My Time, $12. Lazy Days, $12. Faking It at $12. And then Boy Blue at $17. Rumble Strip, $18. Interesting to see a couple of fillies in there. Faking It and It's My Time.
I think they're probably fairly big unders. I think It's My Time. I think Andy Campo noted that she was going for a spell, so I don't think she'll be going around in that race.
No.
And even if she was, I think she'd be about,
I
think she'd be about 200 to 1. So, and Faking It, she's a really nice filly, but it'd be a big step up to take on the boys.
Yeah, there we go. They must be holding a fair bit of money for It's My Time. Maybe the owners had something speculative on it, and they've kept it solid in the market. But obviously, she's not in the Oaks, so she's not going to be in the Derby.
I think to take too much money on that running, you'd have to probably have it out there at hundreds, if not longer.
There we go. All right, let's take a break and let's listen to the favourite for the Derby win last week in Better Fortune.
Rock to the turn, a real battle of attrition here. 28-7. Better Arcade tries to lift on the inside. Better Fortune the outside. They're clear from Hale St. Louis. Maximum Rock beat the banker, trying to come on in the straight though. He goes for home now, and Better Fortune races clear. Running the second, Hale St. Louis. Better Arcade can't go on. On the outside, beat the bank. Coming through, fly to the finish as well. But an easy win to Better Fortune, and a very good win too. Hale St. Louis second, third.
Talking Trots with Mortz and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.
It's Just Call Me Mickey, wave right into the Tab Touch sprint lane. Then Franco Motu, but he's pulling out plenty. Just Call Me Mickey, he's going to lead all the way in the Pinjarra 4-year-old Classic and win 3/4. Just Call Me Mickey, wave rider Franco.
Yeah, off the barrier draw, you thought that was the way that it was almost going to play out, didn't you? With leaders back there. Just Call Me Mickey, Wave Rider, kept on his heels, got beat by 3/4 of a length. As you said, Franco Motu early in the program, he was really good in third position. Copycat Queen was really good making ground. And then you had Pete's on a Blaze Away, Golden Load also going across the line together.
It was a great, it was a great run there to get a bit of confidence back for Just Call Me Mickey. As we mentioned earlier, was able to control things and just zipped away and won quite well. I thought there were a few, as we mentioned earlier, Copycat Queen, she was terrific. Blaze Away, he probably made a fairly big step up there for Trots Ind.
He was good. On the back of him, probably a bit unlucky. He sort of was just behind them, but whether he could have made any ground after that is questionable. But he was certainly good to see him on the back of him and getting through. And currently ranked 14. It'd be good if we can get in. But
if he wins again tomorrow, that'll certainly
help.
Do his case no harm.
It's going to help. And Just Call Me Mickey, another Always Be Mickey, out of famous alchemist who senior trained.
Really?
So There we go. A bit of a crossover there from the Halls and the Bonds with Just Call Me Mick, who's, as you said, he's the standout 4-year-old, and he's probably the nugget favourite at the moment. And Wave Rider, both those horses went around the Nullarbor, and they've quinelled the Pinjarra 4-year-old Classic, and they'll roll through to these big 4-year-old races, the 4-year-old Classic, the 4-year-old Championship, and the Golden Nugget, the Retrovision Golden Nugget.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see how that all shapes up. I think Wave Rider, he was much better there as well on Monday. He's probably is a horse I think that is better set up. He's really fast off a sit, and his runs prior to that, he'd probably just been forced to do a bit of work, or he'd been right out the back in braces. So it's good to see him bounce back, and as he mentioned, he's going to be one of the favourites as well for that Golden Nugget.
And speaking of Golden Nugget, this year it's on Italian night. It's moved forward to be the start of November. We've got the Tab Touch Punters Club all sold out. Peter O'Neill's done a great job there. We've just started opening bookings for the Beau Rivage. So if you missed out on the Punters Club, next best place to be is up in the Beau Rivage, overlooking everything, and food and beverage packages there. And don't forget, Taste of WA's coming up. Ollie, you were part of it last year. You come up and had something to eat with Michael Young and the team. Starts the 17th of October, and if you booked a week in advance, you go in the draw. Whoever's booked a week in advance, on the Monday, we do a draw, and you get a race name. I go around the mobile, and I think he might even take you up to see Richie call a race.
Awesome. You couldn't ask for much more than that, could you?
What a great price.
Oh, it's a fantastic night there in the Beau Rivage. You get a great view of the races, and the food's fantastic as well. So you really can't go wrong there, having a great night out.
Book in early, and you're getting the chance to go in that draw for the Taste of WA. Peter O'Neill doing a great job here at Gloucester Park. All right, this segment, Ollie, is brought to you by Bayswater Mazda. Driving is better in a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Road. And no doubt, Mortz's Mazda 6 Turbo has got him to the bush, wherever he is, in fine style. And the boys would have got all the boys in there, and they'd be having a great time.
Yeah, safest houses, and I'm sure Mortz will be back here to watch his horses go around on Friday night next week.
Yeah, no doubt they'll be tuning in Friday night, Ollie, to the Oaks, because he's got Poppy on the Beach drawn 1 and Ruby Oliveira drawn 10. I don't think he could have been happier with the barrier draws.
And as we mentioned earlier, those horses that are 3 and 4 back the pegs in these big races over 2,500 metres, they're really lethal late.
I think she's a great place bet, Ruby Oliveira, at the 270. Like, love horses 3 pegs.
She's probably just
better
suited in that position than she was last week when she was leading, or last start.
Yeah, I think so. And I'll tell you what, it's a great race, and there's so many permutations on how it can be run, and it's going to be really good. All right. Now, we've got meetings this week, Ollie, as I go to and have a look at the HRA site and have a look at the fields. And we've got on Saturday night, Northam. And Sunday, I think we've got Central Wheatbelt. Is that correct?
We've got Collie this week.
Collie, is it?
Yeah,
Collie.
Pretty exciting. The Collie season's starting.
Collie season starting on Sunday. And let me just pull it up as we go through. And yes, on the Saturday night, Northam, first race at 5:53, and there's 7 races on the card. And then we head to Collie on the Sunday, the first at 1:39, and there's 7 races also on the card at Collie. And then we've got Albion Park on Saturday night, which you'll have a look at as well. What do you got for us at Northam on the Saturday night, Ollie?
It looks a good card there at Northam, and the first one I've got for us is in race 3. It's Mr. Editorial. I think he's a really good 1x3, 1x4 type bet in this race. I think he's going to be really good value. He's probably going to go around at a reasonable price. Obviously, we've got $14 there on the harness.org website, and I think that's sort of around the price he will be. I think he's just going to get a really good run behind Zlato, who may elect a lead in this race. He led a few starts ago at Pinjarra, and he ran a really good race there. So I think Zlato is probably the leader in the race, and that'll give a really good run to Mr. Editorial, who is third up from a spell here. So he should just be just about ready fitness-wise, and I thought he was a solid enough run last start at Kellerberrin. So if he gets that really good run on the leader's back, I certainly think he's one that could fill a minor placing or even spring a bit of a surprise and beat them. But I'm happy to play it that way.
All right. What else you got for us?
In race 4, I'm going with the Hayden King-owned, Michael Young-trained mare in I Like What I See. She was a really good effort there last start first up for Michael Young. She was forced to do the work outside the leader, and the leader went on to be well beaten in that race. So she was really good to battle on, to only be beaten 10 metres. And I think if she had found the front in that race, then she would have been winning. I think in this race, Hot Cinder sometimes elects to hold the lead over the shorter journey, but this is the 21.90. So I think Hot Cinder will be happy enough to hand up to I Like What I See. And if I Like What I See finds front in this race, I think she'll be just about winning. So I'm pretty keen on her chances, and I think she can get back in the winner still.
The feature race of the night is the Tab Touch Northeastern Districts Derby, worth $11,000, and Manhattan Ruby looks to be a short price favourite there for Corey Peterson.
She's going to be really hard to beat. This is a big step back in grade. She did a lot of work there last start to try and cross Kinky, who was drawn 1 in that race, taken out by Akoya Pearl, but she was well beaten there, but big step back in class in this race, and she's going to be incredibly hard to beat wherever she gets to in the run.
All right, then we head to Collie on Sunday, the opening of their season. And as I said, first of 7 races at 1:39. The feature event of the day is the Tab Touch King Cole Cup Discretionary Stand Start, which is worth $8,000. What do you got for us at Collie?
Yeah, I've got a horse going around in that race.
You do, Bobby Waterhouse.
He's been handicapped out of it after winning a race over the Lightning Lap at Pinjarra and last start at Kellerberrin. I'm not
you sound happy.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure how that works. I'm not really too sure they're the strongest form references. Feeling Aces has been moved up 10 metres, and his last win came in a metro race. So I don't really know how Bobby Waterhouse ends up off 30 metres in this race, but he has, and it probably makes it pretty tough for him there. It's going to be a good race, though. I think Feeling Ace is probably getting those handicap advantages is going to be hard to beat given his class, and there's probably a horse off the front there in Good Times Ahead who is better than he's been going, and Rambo Rabbit is another horse that at his best he's pretty handy, but going to be an interesting race and probably comes down to who steps best over that from the stand start there at Collie. Given the way that track plays, it's quite hard to make ground, isn't it?
Yeah, you sound about as happy with the handicappers as Senior is. What have you got for us at Collie, though?
In race 3, I was really keen on the chances of Huey each way in this race. I think he's going to get a great run on the back of Major Blue Eyes, who probably isn't a horse that goes as well leading as he does following them around. He's run some good races, Major Blue Eyes, following them around on a Friday night at Gloucester Park, but just out in front, he seems to get a little bit lost at times and has a bit of a look around. So I think there could be an opportunity for Huey to run past him in the concluding stages if he's able to get clear at any stage. Always a little bit of a query there at Collie. It can be quite tight racing, but if the luck does come for Huey, I think he can be hard to hold out.
All right, that's race 3, number 6. Anything else?
In race 4, I'm going to go with a Quinella in this race, and it's a Quinella pegs hopefully come to the fore here with Hurricane Hope out in front. Was a really good winner there on Sunday at Kellerberrin, and they rate a pretty good time. I think she's going to go around a very short price favourite in this race if she's able to lead, which she looks like she will be able to. she's going to be hard to beat. And the Liquidator on her back was also a winner there at Kellerberrin and going to get a great run and should also be running second there. So first and second, Hurricane Hope, Liquidator, I'm pretty confident they'll run the Quinella.
Two of your favourite drivers, Emily Savalco on Hurricane Hope and Liam Elliott on Liquidator. You couldn't have gone a week without Liam, could you?
No, certainly not. Neither of them would ever let you down. I'm sure they'll give him every chance. And
he's got to get a mention every week, Liam, when you're on.
No, he's flying at the moment.
Flying. Doing a great job. Do you get any percentage? Nothing? Nothing?
No.
Anyway, all right. And then we go to Albion Park on Saturday night. What have we got here? How many races? We got 9 races on the card. The first at 3:47. I think it's daylight savings kicks in on Saturday night, Sunday morning over in the east.
Yeah, I think
this weekend.
I think you could be right. It's
the last time we're 2 hours behind on a Saturday night. You'll have to work 3. No, Queensland don't have it anyway.
No, well that is handy.
Queensland don't have it anyway. So, but New South Wales and Victoria will be 3 hours after Sunday morning.
It's kind of nice when you're waiting for the trots to start in the afternoon and they start an hour earlier.
It does. Although I'm not too sure they can start too early because they don't let them on Sky. But anyway, they might have to start the first at closer to 6 o'clock. In Queensland. Anyway, what do you got for us?
Race 4 here was a horse that obviously went around in WA not too long ago in Coney Island Lou and went around for the Gary Hall Snr stable, and we had him on earlier, obviously. And this horse was a really good winner recently, a couple of starts ago at this track. And at this trip, he was able to zip around mid-race and take up the lead. And he proved too good there, rating 153. Then he had a little bit of a break, and last start he returned and had absolutely no luck. He drew gate 7, was forced wide early in the race, and just it didn't pan out from there. At this time, he draws gate 1. He's most likely able to drive through, lead them up, and from there, he's going to be incredibly hard to catch. Our Sunset Delight probably steps up in grade a little bit, and he's the one that'll get the good run on Coney Island Lou's back, and I think he can hold that runner off and prove too good for them out in front.
All right, Coney Island Lou, still owned by Mark Congdon, Silky Moore and Russ Collette. So they've sent it to Queensland.
Powerful ownership group.
Yeah, very powerful ownership group. And they've sent it over to the Turpins to campaign and having his 4th run. What else you got for us?
In race 8, there's a horse here which I've always had a lot of time for. I'd love to buy the horse. I think it's got a lot of ability, and it's sort of around the right mark, which you'd want a horse 54 rater. So, but Studley Ann, I think, is going to get a fantastic run in this race. In behind A Perfect Dance, who looks the likely leader. A Perfect Dance generally is a horse that bowls along out in front, and that'll give a really good run to Studley Ann. She just got shuffled back in the early stages last start, and it just got a little bit too hard for her to run into it late, but she hit the line okay. Just getting that perfect run on the leader's back, I think she's going to be really hard to hold out late. So I'm keen to be with her. I think she's got good ability and should get a great run.
All right, race 8, number 8, Studley Ann for Johnny McMullen. T. Lee McMullen taking the drive. Is leader Peter suspended, is he?
No, I think
he's got a drive. He's got a couple of drives.
Yeah.
And on the one you liked earlier, Coney Island Lou, Tommy Callaghan takes the drive.
Yeah, I think it's just with the his band assessment. He's a band 3, Coney Island Lou. I really like their band system in Queensland.
Yeah, very good.
You're able to claim back one band with a claiming driver, even if they only are a claim 3 points driver, and that's what they've done there. They've claimed back a band to a band 4, so he certainly looks well in there.
All right. Mentioned Silky Moore owns Coney Island Lou. He's back again tomorrow for the Retrovision Gloucester Park preview, starting at 8 a.m. Are you on tomorrow morning?
Yeah, and Matt will be the other one that's on, and looking forward to it.
Do you know your guest yet?
Not too sure yet.
I can tell you, Michael Young.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The powerful Michael Young.
The powerful Michael Young. I've got all the information. I'm covered across everything. So Michael Young joining the preview tomorrow, and Matthew Young hosting with yourself and Silky Moore going through the preview. And hopefully, I don't know whether Mortz will even be back to do the quiz, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know that.
He might not have reception.
He might not. So I'll have to see whether he is there or not, but Michael Young is going to be the special guest tomorrow. Quick show, I reckon we've almost broken a record, Ollie.
Yeah, we might have. I'll have to see what it comes out to.
For this year anyway. For this year, we've gone very quickly. We've left out a few bits.
We've covered a lot of territory though still. So
no, we have. Thanks to Senior Bomber. Thanks to yourself, Ollie. Good luck tomorrow morning and good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks, Rads.
And over the weekend as well.
You too, with the horses you own tomorrow. You've got a few going around. So
well, we got Blaze Away as the syndicate horse. So most of the rest are sort of having breaks at the moment. So
it looks a good chance.
Yeah, he's a nice horse. Hopefully, Michael can steer him a path into the bigger 4-year-old races. We'll see what happens.
You haven't got any going around at Collie though.
No, we haven't.
So might not see you out there.
No, may not. But you can go out there with support the stable. Always,
sounds like it's a good day out there at Collie. So
yeah, go and see. If you see Ollie, come up and get his autograph. You're happy to sign for the fans, eh, Ollie?
Might be worth something one day, but not now.
Yeah, go and see. All right, thanks you, Ollie. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks,
Morts is back next week. Until next week, it's bye for now.
Talking Trots for Snooze, Cannington and Coburn. It's amazing what a little snooze can do.